the WRC is back in the stunning surroundings of New Zealand. Flowing cambered roads of the land of the long white cloud provide one of the most spectacular rounds of the FIA World Rally Championship. Run in the Southern Hemisphere's midwinter this year, the WRC crews faced damp, muddy roads on the opening day of WRC Rally New Zealand, and it produced an interesting variety in the crew's tactical approach. Fastest through the qualifying stage, Ford's Jari-Matti Latvala had the first choice of road position and opted to run at the back of the field, expecting a line of grip to appear in the loose gravel. It worked well in the opening stage, with the Finn taking an early lead. Latvala's teammate Petter Solberg needs a big result after fluffing his lines in Greece, and his desperation to get a decisive edge saw him gamble on the hard compound tyre. With the road surface remaining damp though, once again it's not paid off. Petter was a minute and a half off the pace after the morning loop.
Petter looks already calm in there, but there's a huge amount of time loss. Oh, yeah. Well,
Mikko Hirvonen had opted for the opposite road order tactic to Latvala, meanwhile, and was running first on the road. With some stages becoming increasingly muddy and slippery, it appeared the Citroen man had made the right call. He took the lead from his compatriot on stage 2. Sebastian Loeb was running third on the road, and he too got past Latvala on stage 2. The world champion then began chasing down his teammate throughout day 1, but for once the Frenchman couldn't quite make a decisive move for the top spots. While Citroen's factory drivers were fighting it out at the front, the French team's freshest talent, Thierry Neuville, was again showing the pace that has made him a marked star of the future on his New Zealand debut. For much of the day though, the Belgian was stuck behind a struggling Paulo Nobre, and a spin further held him up. Neuville ended the day in 6th. New Zealand has marked the welcome return of Danny Sordo and the ProDrive WRC team. As with Solberg though, a poor tyre choice left him off the pace, and that was compounded by a frustrating gear shift problem. Sordo though was running in 7th, and Armando Araujo had ensured there were 2 minis in the top 8. The Portuguese driver was relishing the challenge of the stunning New Zealand roads, although he was delayed by this spin on stage 7. Further up the field, and Evgeny Novikov was having another terrific run in the Ford Fiesta RS. The young Russian in 4th after Neuville slipped back. Ahead of Novikov on the leaderboard, Latvala was on the attack in the afternoon, hoping the drying roads would finally see his road order tactic have an effect. On stage 7 though, his bid to catch the Citroens was over. Caught out by a muddy cut, the Fiesta had been flipped off the road, and more than 4 minutes were lost getting back on the stage. Yet another setback in what is becoming an increasingly frustrating season of the luckless Finn.
Very disappointing. I don't know. I don't have the words anymore for this.
And with Latvala dropping back, it left the 2 Citroens alone out front. Hirvonen was relishing the fight with his teammate and still had the edge after one of his finest performances since joining the French team. Unfortunately though, the Finn was up against the greatest driver of his generation. Loeb had steadily edged closer and closer to his fellow Citroen driver, and after managing the tyre wear on his Michelins with brutal efficiency on the final stage of the opening day, the championship leader pulled ahead for the first time.
feeling well in the car, and I really tried to push hard to try to take the lead.
So Loeb leads the rally coming into the second leg, but there's just 4 seconds between the two DS3 drivers, and for the moment, no sign of team orders. Novikov starts day 2 in 3rd place, as Solberg just over 8 seconds behind. Tanak is 5th after one of his best runs of the season, but Latvala down in 9th after the latest setback. Well, a quick look then at what lies in store on this second day. The drivers head to the north of the country, to the Whangarei and Kaipara districts, for a total of 7 stages with 143 competitive kilometres, again, just a remote service. Well, here we go then, Julian. It's into the first stage of the morning, special stage 9, the Batley stage, and just look at the weather. Different to the weather we saw yesterday. A nice, dry start to the day.
That's it, nice and dry. Just probably just a little bit damp under the trees, but out in the open, it was perfect. It was really what all the drivers were wanting after the dramas of yesterday.
And yesterday we saw quite a bit of dilemma in terms of which tyre choice and which road position was the best, but today, for sure, it looks like hard is the right tyre to take.
That's it, Ken Block running near the front of the field this morning, whereas yesterday wasn't quite as far up, making lines for other people like Jari Matilapula. Obviously kind of out of sync really, Colin, because of his problem and the 4 odd minutes dropped yesterday afternoon. Jari 5th on the road today.
5th on the road, Julian. He's got some work to do. There's a few places he can potentially make up today, but really a long, long way to get back up into the podium places, or maybe even 4th or 5th, possibly only 6th place his target today.
Even that's going to be difficult, because it's a little bit like Finland. It's so fast and flowing. There's not the big technical sections where you can take big chunks of time. Finland, as we see, is normally won quite close. This rally historically has been won close. It's going to be very difficult for Jari to actually gain huge places, and you looked at it this morning and there were some big gaps in there as well after the problems of yesterday.
Road position's not great today. What was it looking like though?
It is surprisingly dry. I would say at the moment the road is 70% dry. There is 30% of damp patches, but not enough to give a grip. It's mainly dry, and the grip is all right, but some places it's a bit of, it might give a little bit like surprises, because it's quite like a pollution on the top.
Well, the big surprise yesterday, Jari Matilapula, but thank goodness no surprises for him through the first stage of the morning. With Armando Araujo now, a bit of a disappointing day for him yesterday, Julian. He actually comes through this stage with a bit of a problem with the damper, I think it was, wasn't it?
That's it, the left rear damper would work loose on the road section, and they couldn't quite sort it out, and basically that was like that until remote service.
Danny Sordo in the Mini as well, hampered yesterday by the wrong tyre choice and a gear shift problem. Sordo with a job to do today.
That's it. Well, it's all fixed this morning, everything he was happy with. I mean, now you can just start to see that line coming.
Thierry Neuville, one who had a really good day yesterday. Slightly hampered by Paolo Nogli. He got caught him up quite a number of times yesterday, but he had a good day, showed some tremendous pace.
Yeah, he was. First time here, we've got to remember, and he was quick. He was running towards the end of the WRC cars, but Neuville, yeah, you can just see that line just starting to appear. Also the shadowing as well.
Absolutely, you can see the line, but look at the skies above. It is clear, but you might expect that to be completely dry, but you can see that line is still a damp line.
That's it. It's in the shadows, but it's still a hard tyre. Looking at the skies, as you said, Colin, it's too much of a risk to take anything else really.
And this man, Pere Solberg, well, talking about risks, Julian, he's the man that made the mistake yesterday with the hard compound tyres. He has those extra softs, electing to use them on the first loop of stages this morning. That was a bit of a surprise.
It was a bit of a surprise. I was saying it was going to be a bit of a risk for people, but the thing with it is, I think he has to do something different today to try and gain some time back.
And it works for him in this first stage, quickest through the first stage.
Better yesterday morning in the wet, you took a hard tyre. This morning in the drive, taking a soft, but the time is good.
The time is good. You were told that it's wet and damp, and okay, it's very, very dry. So it will be a tough loop, I think. That's how it looks like. So, but yeah, we will see how it goes. We will push on, and we have our plan is the podium, and we will see what's happening in the front.
Yeah, so maybe a few concerns about how well those soft compound tyres will wear, but Pere Solberg was just behind this man, Evgeny Novikov, at the start of the day. Did enough in this first stage of the morning to get past Novikov, Jules.
That's it. I think if we looked 6 months ago, Novikov would have had a bit of a go here, but he's now learning that you've got to finish the rallies, get experience. Evgeny dropped a place, but was still happy to be where he was.
Absolutely to plan, but Mikko Harvinen on the start line. Well, his plan today was to chase down Sebastian Loeb. He led for most of the first day, losing that lead in the final stage of the first day, but still very much game on. No team orders this morning from Citroen.
No, that's it, and Mikko needs a day equally as good today as he had yesterday. But for me to be able to think that he can really keep going, and it wasn't a flash in the pan yesterday, I tell you, he's the difference between Greece and here is just unbelievable.
He is a different man in that car, full of confidence, knows just how fast he can be on these stages, very much putting the pressure on his teammate Sebastian Loeb. Still damp out there, Julian. We've had quite a number of cars through. Obviously, Mikko Harvinen, 12th on the road this morning, with definitely a line, but still certainly damp out there.
Mikko, 4 seconds between you and Seb at the start of the day. You've got quite a commandable lead between the pair of you. Are you allowed to fight?
Yeah, we are. At the moment, we are going flat out, really pushing hard, and it seems to be very close. You know, it's only a few tenths of the second differences on split time, so we are trying, definitely.
Well, you can see Mikko there looking into the footwell. He was looking for the splits on that little dashboard there, wasn't he, Jules?
Well, I see he spent most of the day, to be fair, yesterday and today, kind of like craning his neck around the corner. And he's looking at the split times of this man, Mr. Loeb.
Loeb really took the lead yesterday on tyre management and tyre tactics. He's supreme when it comes to looking after tyres and choosing the correct tyres.
That's it. I mean, there's him and Daniel in the car, but there's also a group of engineers back in the service park. And what was interesting is he was completely different in some stages to his teammate. Yeah, it is a team sport, but he seems to be able to just manage to do something a little bit different in places.
And once again, going with a different choice through the first stage of this morning.
Yeah, this surprised me at the stop line. He's got hards on the front and softs on the rear. But cleverly, in the boot, he's got two hards.
Sebastian, a slightly different tyre strategy here. You got softs on the rear, hard on the front, two spares. Why are you different to Mikko?
Because I had 2 spare, he didn't have anyone. So we expected to be a bit humid. So we didn't know. Yesterday it was working well with this tyre choice. So I knew it's some humidity in the stage. If it's not enough, I can put the hard. So it was more a safety choice.
So then in the battle at the front, Sebastian Loeb quicker than Mikko Harvinen through there, extending his lead to 6.7 seconds. Further back, both Works Fords have been on the move. Solberg up to 3rd, Latvala passing Araujo for 8th place. Well, if you think the Batley stage was fast, then stay with us because we've some incredibly quick roads in store for you after the break. The fight for supremacy in New Zealand continues in just a few moments. Welcome back then to the Brother Rally New Zealand, and after an interesting opening stage, the leading cars are already into the next 2 tests, Maitai and Girls High School. Great names for stages those, Josie, but here we go into stage 10 and stage 11, and we're with our rally leader. It is Sebastian Loeb extending that lead on the first stage. Jules, what did he do in this one in terms of his tyres?
Well, this one, he basically, the softs came off the car, the hards went on, and he was now basically matching his teammate kind of punch for punch with the tyres.
And that's what you would expect as the day goes on. Temperature gets up, bit of breeze out there as well this morning, and that dried the road. It didn't dry out completely. You can still see that it is still wet round about 10 o'clock in the morning. Now this is the man who potentially may suffer in these 2 stages with the soft compound tyres. Worked for him in the first one, Jules. They might start to go off.
And obviously this morning he took the softer tyres. They don't look in bad condition. How have they been over those stages?
Well, if you look overall, you know, it must have been very good, you know. Okay, it is warm and it's very, very dry and hard in the stage.
And Evgeny Novikov starting the day just in front of Peter Solberg, but it was fractionally in front of him, Julian, losing that place in the opening stage of the day. But Novikov showing a maturity, he knows what he's got to do. He wants to hold on to that 4th place.
Evgeny, end of stage 11, and you said this morning that it was all about kind of maintaining where you were and keeping on the road. Has that been going to plan?
Yes, we're on the plan, everything is fine. I took a bit easy this stage because it was really difficult for me.
Yeah, you wouldn't have heard him saying that a few years ago.
No, you wouldn't at all. And then this man, he can't take it easy, because I tell you what, he's got to get ahead of Loeb.
Doesn't want to let Sebastian Loeb get too far in front of him, because we might see team orders coming in if that's the case.
I tell you what, Loeb did get Loeb got Hirvonen in 10, but in stage 11 it was an inspired performance by Hirvonen.
Something about that stage that Seb just didn't like, and we couldn't quite put our finger on it. He couldn't put his finger on it.
Sebastian, hard tyres all round now. A small little bit of damage on the front right. Where did that happen?
I don't know. I didn't know. So okay, but no big problem. But it was really muddy, and I lost a lot of time on Mikko.
Great stage that from Mikko Hirvonen. He really does slash Sebastian Loeb's lead right back on Josie. But into service, the remote service in Fongaré.
So you had different tires, soft and hard tires, two at the front, two at the back. How works that?
You know, when you have a hard tire in the boot, it doesn't help anything. But I had it on the rear just for the first stage. It was okay. Not better, but okay.
Yeah, it's been really fantastic. Really enjoyed it. And I said before that, well, after the recce, that the high school girl stage for me it's the best one of the rally, and I really enjoyed it, and it went really well for us as well. So luckily we are now back in the fight.
So soft tires was the right choice this morning?
Not really, but I came away with it with a very good times. So we have to be pleased. So obviously it looks like it was fast, but it was far too dry. But it's hard now for the next loop anyway.
Well, out to service then, Julian, and we head into stage 12 and 13, back into the Fongaré countryside. Waipu Gorge, one of the famous stages in New Zealand, and Brooks, we're seeing them run just once this time.
That's it, and it's quite a wide road here, quite a lot drier now. You can see dust actually behind the car. We haven't seen dust, I think, before this weekend.
Well, certainly in this stage, no question about the tyre choice, has to be the hard compound.
That's it, the famous cambered roads as well. Sordo pushing quite hard in here now. You can still see though in the corners and in the trees there's a little bit of dampness, but this is on the valley bottom, on the gorge bottom.
Well, it gives you an indication, the name of the stage, doesn't it? It is a gorge, it is quite deep, trees all around, maybe a little bit damper, but for sure the hard compound was the right choice.
Danny, you said in the previous stage that there was not really a lot you could do because of the positions and everything. Are you trying to do some setup? You're working on the car?
I used driving too. We didn't change only the tires, and I enjoy a lot in this stage, to be honest.
Yeah, he is enjoying himself out there this weekend. Disappointment yesterday for Danny Sordo, but Oit Tanak, what a day he's having, really pushing on, setting some great times, Julian.
Well, he is. I mean, you look at Oit and go on.
I'm just quite surprised that he is pushing on as much as he is. We were told
first time here, that's it.
He's being told to take it easy, but he's setting some great times considering that.
Well, that's it. First time here, you would think maybe it's very specialist as well.
Right, currently at the moment, it's going all pretty well. Good overall position and things like that. Are you like now in a kind of a stabilising mode, or is you still trying to push?
Still pushing, for sure, and I don't know, for sure we are doing really our best, and I did a couple of mistakes still in the beginning of the stage, maybe because pushing too hard, but then was again quite okay, so I think not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad at all from Oit Tanak in there. Very, very impressive. He is definitely a star of the future. But Petter Solberg, well, his target this morning clearly was to get past Novikov. He's done that, Julian. What more can he do now this afternoon?
I don't think he can do a lot, to be totally honest with you, if we're honest. And he's got to basically make sure he doesn't lose any more time. That's all for me. It's damage limitation now.
Doesn't make many mistakes though, Solberg, does he? Greece.
No. Okay. Well, no. Yeah, Greece and the management of the tyres and things like that. But this man, now he doesn't make many mistakes.
He really doesn't make many mistakes. Sebastian Loeb put under a bit of pressure in this afternoon's loop, though. So obviously Mikko Hirvonen taking a chunk of time out of him on the previous stage.
Well, that's it. He's got to sort himself out. They've got to go back into that stage. These ones are just over. Once the famous jump, remember Marcus Gronholm rolling just about there in his 3:07 1 year.
Sebastian, you're just having a little discussion there with Daniel, and A bit of a shrug of the shoulders, shaking the head. Is everything okay?
Yeah, it's okay. He was not sure about the time, so but no, it's okay. It's 3 seconds faster than Mikko. It's okay. We pushed hard, but it was tricky. It was very slippery along the river, and we are here.
Yeah, very much there. Sebastian Loeb extending his lead to 5.4 seconds. Still very much game on though with the battle at the front. Solberg still in third, Novikov fourth, and Tanak fifth after stage 13. So on we go then, stage 14 and 15, the last two stages of the day, Julian, and things beginning to change in terms of the weather, looking a bit dark out there, and that's definitely a wetter surface.
Well, that's it. When we arrived at the final stage, they had a shower about 20 minutes before the stage went live. You just see by the mud on the cars, on the hard tyres, remember. Got to be tricky for them all.
Yeah, Sebastian Loeb still battling with Mikko Hirvonen at the front. It's so important that neither of these drivers make a mistake. Citroen looking for their third 1-2 finish in a row.
Yeah, and remember, at any point when they're getting towards here, the call could come to hold position. They want to be the one at the front when it comes in.
You hope it doesn't come in at this point during the stage.
Well, yeah.
Might put you off a little bit, but Sebastian Loeb, you can...
Sebastian, it's the final stage of day 2 in New Zealand. The mud and the slippiness in there. Mikko's got you again, but not enough. You will lead at the end of the day.
Yeah, we are still leading, so it was... I tried really hard in this one. It's not my stage. I know it's in the first pass, and it was a lot faster, so I had to push really hard. I'm only 1 second behind him, so it's not so bad.
What's the plan for tonight? Do you want to still fight tomorrow, or do you want to hold position?
You know, I don't have anything to say at this point, so I don't know. I'm happy to be here now, still leading. It's a good fight with Mikko. I don't know what will happen.
Yeah, well, Sebastian Loeb leading at the end of the day, Julian. There apparently team orders haven't been implemented, or hadn't at that point. Mikko Hirvonen, though, remember, this was the stage where he did take a chunk of time out of Loeb earlier on in the day. Wasn't able to repeat that on the second pass.
No, Mikko, well, Sebastian, I think, getting better on the second pass. Mikko's virtually the same. So we'll just see. I mean, you can see still the dampness.
But a really good day for Mikko Hirvonen, because we did think that he might slip back today, that team orders might come into it, but they didn't, and he kept the pressure on, and Loeb knew he was in a battle all day.
That's it. I mean, I had him as driver of the day on Friday, and I'd probably give him again today.
Mikko had a gap coming in with 7.9. In this stage this morning, you took a load out of him, but the way that balaclava went in that footwell, what's happened?
Sorry?
You don't look so happy now.
No, it's okay, I don't think it's gonna be, quite enough, but I tried, but setup wasn't perfect now for this stage anymore, because after the rain we changed the car a lot softer, and it was a little bit too soft now, so it's a bit difficult to drive, but let's see what Sebastian time's gonna be, and then we know more.
Petter Solberg, well, a disastrous day 1 for him, but a really good day 2 for Petter Solberg. No real problems today. Got past Novikov, that was his objective. Kept it nice and tidy, Julian. Good day for Petter Solberg. He'll feel well pleased this evening.
Well, he will, that's it. I mean, that's what he wanted. His aim at the start there was get on the podium. He's there now.
Petter, it's been a long day 2 in New Zealand. You're back up on the podium, which was done quite easily and earlier, but the conditions are still being tricky, and this last stage, the mud is incredible.
Yeah, now we should have soft tires. So, but I'm quite happy with the time, and it's good. No major problem, and you'll see tomorrow. Hopefully a lot of rain, and we take it from there.
That's it. There's been talk of rain coming tomorrow all week. You've got some soft tires left.
Yeah. Let's hope we can do something, and it will be very, very interesting to see anyway. And okay, 60 Ks, and can maybe take 1 second per kilometer if it's full rain, but it's still 120 up to Mikko, so you still have to do a small mistake, but you never know.
Yeah, you never do know. Petter Solberg still looking very positive at the end of day 2, and here then is our leaderboard at the end of day 2. Well, it's not quite there, but Sebastian Loeb does lead at the end of day 2. Mikko Hirvonen is second, and Petter Solberg in third place, looking to make a move on the final day.